Among the many clay tablets made by the Babylonians about 4,000 years ago are some that contain number sequences. In addition to tablets containing arithmetic and geometric sequences, one tablet shows the first 60 terms of the sequence that begins 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. These numbers come from multiplying each counting number by itself. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9. Multiplying a number by itself is called squaring the number and is represented by a small 2 in the upper right of the number being squared. The 2 is called the exponent. So for example, 3 times 3 can be written as 3 squared. 2 is the exponent because there are 2 3's and they're multiplied by each other. 3 is called the base. It is the repeated factor. So it is the number that is repeated, and it's a factor because we are multiplying. So 3 times 3, or 3 squared, equals 9. So how can you write numbers using exponents? You need to pick a base or a repeated factor and an exponent. And how can you use exponents to write numbers? Well, it's a short way to, instead of writing the repeated factor over and over again. So the exponent tells us how many times the base is repeated. So in this example, the base, which is -5, is repeated 4 times. So -5 times -5 times -5 times -5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The base -5 is repeated 4 times because the exponent is 4. For this example, you need to write the product using exponents. So you need to figure out what the repeated factor is, and these dots are another way to show that you are multiplying. So a repeated factor is the number that's being repeated. In this instance, it is -4. How many times is -4 repeated? 1, 2, 3, 4. So to write this using exponents, we would have -4 to the 4th power. -4 is repeated 4 times. Now I'd like you to try some on your own. For the first one, you have a base of -2 repeated 4 times. I would like you to write it out, the repeated factors. So you should have a factor times a factor times a factor times a factor. So I could see what that looks like and then solve to find the answer. For number 2, you need to write the base and the exponent. And for number 3, you have a fraction. So it's the same thing. You'll have, I want you to write out the factor times the factor times the factor and then solve.